In today's Halacha, we're going to go into a few more details about Zachreinu and discuss the custom of the recital of Oseh Hashalom. So yesterday we discussed with regards to someone who recited Hamelech HaKodesh or Hamelech HaMishpat during the regular year. And we said that there's a machlekes amongst Zachreinim, and that the rule is that one does not repeat Shemana Esrei if he said Hamelech HaKodesh and Hamelech HaMishpat as Sofik Brachas Lahakol. What is the law if someone said Zachreinu or Michameichin Shemana Esrei after Aseret Tshuva or before Aseret Tshuva? Is he Yetze Shemana Esrei? The Alter Rebbe rules in Siman Kuf Ches, in Sif Yud Ches, regarding Yalav Yaveh and all similar cases, that if someone accidentally recited Yalav Yaveh or another inappropriate extra paragraph that is not meant to be said on that day, then it is disputed amongst the Paiskim. The Alter Rebbe records the dispute as to whether one has fulfilled his obligation or not. As possibly it is similar to one who purposely spoke during davening, in which case he must repeat from the beginning of that blessing or the beginning of davening. The Alter Rebbe concludes that although we generally rule Sofek Brachas Lahakol, and thus here too in this case, ideally one is Yetze Shemana Esrei, but since the sages said Halavai Shispalel Adam Kol Hayom, let it be that a person daven the whole day, so therefore the Alter Rebbe concludes one should daven at Tfilas Nedava. And based on this, the Shulchan in chapter 21, Halacha 4, likewise concludes that in the case that someone says Zachreinu or Michamecha during days of not Aseret Tshuva, then he is to repeat Shemana Esrei as a Tfilas Nedava. If he remembered in middle of saying the stanza, then he is to immediately stop reciting it and continue. Regarding the statement, the stanza of Michamecha, a very interesting discussion is brought in one of the Sfarim of the Kisvei Arizal, in the Sefer of Shara Kavanis. He says that although Rosh Hashanah is a day of judgment in this world, this doesn't negate it being a day of judgment in other worlds as well. And in truth, all the souls, all the neshamas are judged on Rosh Hashanah. And all the neshamas that have to come back down to this world in the Seid HaGilgulim as a reincarnation are also judged in Rosh Hashanah. And this is why the wording in this stanza is Zoicher liyitzurav berachamim l'chaim. We say, remember your creations with mercy for life. We don't say Zoicher Son, remember us, or Zachreinu, remember us, as is said in other stanzas. And the reason why in this stanza we change the wording and we say Zoicher the Yitzurav to all creations, that includes also those neshamas, as you want those neshamas of Gilgulim to also be blessed with a good sweet year. This is the reason why, says the Arizal, of why the Chachamim included the stanza of Michamecha within the Brach of Machayim Esim, as seemingly what is the connection. But the reason is because the whole idea of a Gilgul is similar to the idea of Tchias HaMesim, as one is receiving another life in this world. Oseh Hashalom. The custom is that at the conclusion of Shemana Esrei, we say Oseh Hashalom instead of Oseh Shalom. The other areas that we also say Oseh Hashalom is at the end of Kaddish, in which we also switch the Oseh Shalom to Oseh Hashalom. This refers to Kaddish Shalom or Kaddish Tiskabel. What is the marker behind this change? Why do we change it? So the source behind the extra hay of Oseh Hashalom in the end of Shemana Esrei is recorded in the Alter Rebbe Siddur and is based on Sifrei Kabbalah of the Arizal Shar Kavanis and Priyetz Chaim, and is likewise recorded in many other Achainim of today. The reason behind this custom, it says in Priyetz Chaim of the Arizal, is because the gematria of Hashalom is the same gematria as Safriel HaMalach. Safriel HaMalach is the angel that is in charge of inscribing the Jewish people in the book of life during Aseret Tshuva. Therefore, during a Seres Tshuva, in order to sort of give him a push, an extra incentive to write us in for a good book of life, we say Oseh Hashalom. There are other reasons mentioned as well in other svarim. Regarding if we say Oseh Hashalom in benching, so the Rebbe in Fabregan in 1984 stated that he actually discussed this question with the Rebbe Rayatz, and after a lengthy discussion, the Rebbe Rayatz concluded that it is not to be said, and rather in benching one only says Oseh Hashalom. It's interesting to note that there are many, many communities of Ashkenazi Jewry which also change the last brach of Shemana Esrei to read Oseh Hashalom. Then instead of them saying in the brach of Simshon, the last brach of Shemana Esrei, instead of them saying Baruch Atah Hashem and Baruch Sam Yisrael Bashalom, they simply say Oseh Hashalom. This nusach is actually based on a nusach found in Rishonim. However, there are many, many poskim that came out against this nusach, saying that there's no source for it, and therefore, one who says it, it's as if he's saying a brach levatol, and he transgresses the issur of loisisa, not to say Hashem's name in vain. So concludes the Shara Koilu. Likewise says the Shara Koilu, they are changing from the mystic concept of having exactly 113 letters in each brach of Shemana Esrei, and by them switching words and taking out words, they are not having exactly 113 letters in the bracha. Regarding saying Oseh Hashalom in Kaddish, so in truth, although the Alter Rebbe brings us in the Siddur and it's recorded in later Achayim such as the Mata Ephraim and Mishnah Berurah, we don't find any prior source for this switch. The source in Kisvei Arizal is only for saying Hashalom at the end of Shemana Esrei. Based on this, some poskim write that one should not say Oseh Hashalom at all in Kaddish, and rather should stick with the regular nusach during the year. There's a custom recorded in the Moed Kol Chai of the Svardim that one should only say Oseh Hashalom in Kaddish Teskal. Nevertheless, the Chabad Mindig is as writes the Alter Rebbe in the Siddur to always say Oseh Hashalom during Aseres Yimei Tshuva at the end of Kaddish. La'ela u'la'ela. It's written in Shulchanaruch and it's brought in a number of poskim. The Alter Rebbe records it in chapter 582 that a person is to say in Kaddish during Aseres Yimei Tshuva instead of la'ela, he is to say la'ela u'la'ela. And the reason recorded for this is because that during this time, Hashem is especially exalted as king, being that he's sitting in judgment, and therefore one should emphasize that by repeating the word exalted, la'ela u'la'ela. Nevertheless, in the Siddur, the Alter Rebbe does not make any mention of it, and it's likewise therefore recorded in the gloss of the Tzemach Tzedek on the Siddur, that the Alter Rebbe held that it is actually not to be said. And thus the Chabad custom as written in Sefer Manhagim is that we do not say la'ela u'la'ela at all during Kaddish of Aseres Yimei Tshuva, and we stick with the regular nusach. One of the reasons for this is mentioned in the Kaf HaChaim that Kaddish should contain exactly 28 words according to Kabbalah. When you add the word la'ela u'la'ela, it now contains 29 words. Nonetheless, our custom is that by the last Kaddish of Ne'ilah on Yom Kippur, we do recite la'ela u'la'ela. And this custom is based on the Maimer of the Rebbe Marash, as is recorded also in the Tzais